Lafayette. He gave us Dr. King's principles on nonviolence one time, and I would imagine those are the same.
Yes, they're all intertwined together. So that was one way that the movement had an impact on my life as an educator. I was able to become a part of curriculum, guide, writing, and then to influence the young people in the school system.
Well, now you were in Tennessee when Dr. King was assassinated in 1968.
Yes, I was.
Now, why don't you say something over the last 4 or 5 minutes that we have in reference to that? Because I try to at least elicit from all of my guests at least some statements in reference to that. But what impact did that, after having worked in the movement for a while and having perhaps not worked directly with Dr. King, but certainly been influenced by Dr. King, what impression did you get in reference to that? I mean, what happened that day?
It was devastating. The first devastation came with the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and it was one thing after another. But it was like I had lost a member of my family. It was like all hope was gone, and where do we turn now? And can it get any worse? And I remember the troops in Nashville. I was living in College Hill at the time, had a little apartment up there, and I had to catch the bus, the Jefferson Street, to get from work home, and they would not carry us beyond Fisk University. So that's a long walk from Fisk to College Hill. And when I finally reached the TSU campus there at John Merritt Boulevard, they had barricades up, and the troops were there, and I just remember how angry I was, and I said, I've got to cross over. I said, I'm going home, but they thought the students would, you know, break into violence and, you know, have riots, and there were riots and things that occurred across the country, but Nashville remained relatively calm and in mourning. It was a sad event.
Yeah, that was one of the many things that happened during that civil rights movement. A lot of folks lost their lives, and I think that in your case, you were one of the fortunate ones because many people were unable to come from that movement. You see,
yes, that's true. One thing about the movement is when you decide to make a difference, you have to commit yourself, and part of commitment means struggle and sacrifice, and you have to be willing to sacrifice, and some people sacrifice with their lives, unfortunately.
You know, I think that's my interest in this whole movement now, and I've said this on a number of occasions, that the civil rights movement, we were in Hope, Arkansas at the time, simply passed us by, in the sense that while on the campus at A&M College in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, only 15 or 20 of the young people would go down and sit in and et cetera. And I think that many of us were sort of embarrassed to the point of us not going and feeling somewhat ashamed, and in a real sense, it's a sad thing to say, we ridiculed them because we felt that they didn't understand the power and the wrath of the white man once he became enraged over what was going on. And so there was a lot of fear at that time. That's one of the things that we remember. And I always say that individuals who had an opportunity to participate in it, and I had an opportunity to do so, which is to say that I would have faced expulsion from college and et cetera, and et cetera. But I was not willing to take that chance at that particular time, and I say that individuals like yourself and others who, and especially those who gave their lives, really owe a special debt of gratitude. We all owe a special debt of gratitude to have push you forward, you see, while we stood back and in many instances ashamed of ourselves and ridicule you. That's essentially what we did. You know, you must be crazy, and et cetera. It had to be.
Yeah,
it was a real challenge because there are lynchings and burnings and all of those things were going on. And
but the thing about it, again, I'll repeat this, that all that was going on, and we were called communists and all kinds of things, adversity, facing adversity. It made you strong, and God was with us, And when you feel that God is your shield,
Good.
you can do anything.
And of course, Dr. King was right there supporting that position and
Yes,
pushing that
yes.
position.
It was a Christian movement. It was a
Uh-huh.
Christian movement.
Very good. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Do unto you.
And of course, Professor McKissack, let me thank you for that excellent information about and those insights in terms of the civil rights movement. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Cummings. And make sure that we have an opportunity again to talk to you in reference to some of these things. And we'll be with you again next week. Thank you and good morning.